It's live. We're going to be talking about Newcastle United first and foremost. And before anybody comes in, let's do a quick poll. Okay, so we've got a poll now. And very good evening, everybody. Yes, Sunday is going to be absolutely a massive experience. It's at St James's Park, where my hope is from the first whistle, we're totally switched on and we start to score early. I want us to score within the first 5 minutes. That's going to be epic. And in the other game which we had the other day, Sandro, well, he was straight in there with, I think it was 2 minutes on the clock. We need to smash the ball into the back of the net as fast as possible. Now, what I also want is this. I believe that Alexander Isak might play. Let's be honest, it's one of those occasions where after Sunday, there is no more football, apart from the Champions League, which that's a different kettle of fish. And the football which was on last night, that was a different kettle of fish completely. So, my hope is that Alexander Isak scores. I believe Harvey Barnes will score. He kind of got the fire in his belly to do that. And what I really want to see is, as I've said in many of my songs, let's create a brick wall. Some people have said that Everton, because obviously they've had their last game at their old stadium, and then moving in August to play at their new one, which is the Docks. I think it's Bramley Docks or something like that, what it's called. So let's hope they are on the beach, wiggling their toes in the water. Because we have slipped from third to fourth. Now, the top 5 automatically go into next season's UEFA Champions League. But I want third. And it's a big ask. Yes. Big, massive ask. I want Alexander Isak, Harvey Barnes, Sandro to chip in. And basically, let's have a party. First half for the supporters and second half as well. So what I'm going to do is I've put a poll up. Yeah. The poll is there for you all to see. So what we've got, Stevie G, do you watch F1? I used to watch F1. Yes. You have exposed your Superbase API key. Here's the thing. I am not the expert. We'll talk about that shortly. Yeah, I'm not the expert. We are talking first and foremost about Sunday. Now, Sunday is going to be the party because there's no more football after that. And everybody goes on holiday apart from Paul Mitchell and those high up directors. Good evening from the Orkneys. Hiya, Steve. And Neymar Edits has said hi. How did the call go today? Not the way I wanted the call to go today, but I'll speak about that in the second half of this live tonight. What I'm talking about first and foremost is who's going to be playing, who is going to be scoring for Newcastle United on Sunday, because I want third position. And in my honest prediction, I want to see at least 5-0. That's what I'm hoping for, at least 5-0. A&E. Hi Paul, I'm only here for the business. In how many minutes will you talk about them? Well, for the business side, that's going to be at least half an hour. At least. Yes, Bert, 5-0. There's no more football after Sunday. That is it. So everybody might as well shake themselves and get out onto that pitch and smash Everton in the last game. And if we do that, then we are going to go back into third. And the more goals we put in the back of Everton's net, you got to remember, City are also playing. And because they are also playing, then that is going to be why I've put 5. The chances of the other team doing the same, not so sure. Right, so Zelia, Paul, how is Streets of Home going, and will there be another demo with a different track? Well, one thing I said to many people was this. I looked at doing something, asking a question, and I got quite a bit. And that was just Westgate Road, straight down into the city centre. Have you made Seeking App Repo public for us all to see yet? No, it's private. If you message me, then as one person has already found out, I'll let you in. And lots of people have been talking about that. That doesn't make sense, cool. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, here's the thing, right? On GitHub, which I'll speak about shortly, yeah? First half, we're going to be talking about Newcastle United. Second half, we talk about other things, yeah? Now, there could be final appearance for not Kieran Trippier, Callum Wilson. There could be a final appearance for the likes of Matt Targett and others, you know. And what I want to see is Everton being crushed totally. Now, he has a downside, and it's a really big, huge downside. I was watching Paul Ditchburn of the Toon Review earlier, and unless you've got one of those peculiar sticks, cube or something like that, there is no football on Sunday. They are covering the Forest game, the Manchester United game, and the crowning of the champions. And I find that bizarre, considering the champions, Liverpool, was confirmed ages ago. And I find it really strange how the game up at St James's Park is only on like foreign channels. Crazy that. I mean, it probably will be on like say Peacock or something along those lines of Peacock, and I find that really strange. I mean, I think Sky, TNT, and the others have let down supporters because at the end of the day, the trouble I sometimes have when I'm trying to watch is that buffering which appears on screen. Oh, BFA, man, your spelling's absolutely abysmal, mate. Absolutely abysmal. Now, my hope is the players who I've spoken about in live videos, and we get rid of players first. So Paul Mitchell's going to have to basically say to like say Callum Wilson, Matt Targett, Sean Longstaff, and others, it's time, you move on. Well, that's somebody's spelling, at the end of the day, and I am just as bad. I'm dyslexic, and so I'm just as bad. But like you say, at the end of the day, I would at least try and I mean, you think about this, but you've got B.F. Aiken who can't even spell another YouTube channel. When will you apologise for having a go at us when you told us we couldn't? Here's the thing, yeah? Being new to something like code, yeah? Mistakes, errors are going to be made, yeah? I put a request out live the other day. I was sitting at the laptop. My mobile was looking straight at me, and I went onto GitHub and made a request. Somebody came straight back and told me what I had to do. The main point I was trying to get across, and I still will get across on this, it's not, and it never was, a one-man job. And that's something I'll speak about once we get to half an hour. So at first, we're going to be talking about Sunday. Sunday is massive. It's huge. Because we win, we go third. And as everybody would tell you, I was the first person, and I've said this to even Alice, who's a rival fan. I even said it to her. Check my channel before the football started, because she's even flabbergasted at what Newcastle have done. How has he spanned from disrespecting his chat back to Newcastle game? We are talking in the first half. There. That's what we're talking about, right there. Yeah. Second half, then we can open the discussion. Second half. So, if you don't like it, well, I'm going to speak about that, Benny, after we have got to half an hour. I'm talking about Newcastle United and where we are going to be going moving forward. But my thought is this. I think we could have Joe Linton on the pitch. There has been talk of scans and stuff like that, but maybe they were just keeping him for the last game. Because let's be honest, if he were to get injured in the last game, well, there'd be no training the following Monday because there's no football. So that's a positive. Elias, just say how many league titles. Well, I can tell you this much. You're a Liverpool fan, and, you've just said that in chat. Congratulations on winning the Premier League title. Congratulations. And we've got Arsenal here as well. So, and we've got somebody. This fella really loves talking about. Well, actually, you're wrong, because that team you've mentioned isn't United, and it never was. So, check before you put stuff in chat. Oh yeah, we've got another one. That has never been, and it never will be. So, but I know at the end of the day, yeah, we'll stir the pot. We'll stir the pot. You can't. You can't stir what's not there, because, for one, I've never ever been to a match in that area of the northeast. So you can't stir the pot. And David Kenny, there is a problem with that. Yes, there is. But medication sorts it out. You're always going to get trolls A and E. you're always going to get them. And the reason why, you've got no better to do. It's as simple as that. But I think you need to change, look at what you type before you type it. And Benny is a moderator. So Benny, get on the fact of what's being said, yeah? David Kenny, yes, I do love, what? No, I do love cats, but that's in the animal, not anything else. So think you're in the wrong live. Is that plate CGI? Everything's CGI. Did you know? Did you know that? Everything is CGI. And if you believe that, well, but getting back to the football, my thoughts come the end of the game is we've won. We've scored more goals than the team who is next to us, and then we claim third. Right. Bye. Bye. Some very, very bizarre people, man. Yeah, Benny, sort out this person, because at the end of the day, yeah, you're just spoiling. Now, one thing I will say, I would be very happy come 6 p.m. on Sunday. Newcastle United have done what I asked them to do, finished third and scored 5 goals or more. Well, Benny, instead of being busy gaming, come on. Otherwise, as I said to you, it was temporary. Just remember that. Now, we have another 7 minutes, and then I'm going to switch things around. So, now here's the thing, right? What I'd like to see. The fact that we claim third position, and the Mancunian, who is a supporter for one of our rivals who's right behind us. That rival is on about the 350 million, which I spoke about the other day. And it was on about where did I get 350 million pound from. The 350 million pound is made up of the money that we were going to go for Mark Gahey, the money which would have went into the transfer kitty for the transfer windows, i.e. the winter transfer window, which is January, where nobody was brought in, and all of the money that Newcastle United has earned for their position within the Premier League. So that was to the Mancunian. You're in the wrong place, mate. You're in the wrong place, David, because at the end of the day, right, this is a Newcastle United channel, and it will always be a Newcastle United channel. So you're in the wrong place, and that's it. You know? I don't even know who is playing in the Championship, Bjergviken. I couldn't tell you. It's a division lower. But one thing is this. There you go again. David, give it a rest. Yeah? Give it a rest. Oh, so Bjergviken is saying Sheffield versus. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And somebody can't spell. Genuine, innocent question to gauge how much of Newcastle United you've experienced. How old are you? I'm 58. I've seen many, many changes. When I started going to St James's Park years and years ago, there was no roof. And if it did rain, you got drenched. If you got drenched and it was a good game, you walked home with a smile on your face. If you got beat, the walk home, it was like soggy. And yeah, I've seen many changes, seen many managers. Managers I loved were Sir Bobby Robson, one of the greatest managers we ever had. And there was some, Alan Pardew. How did he even get in 8 year? How did he even get in 8 year contract? Staggering. But here's the thing. There's going to be many more changes at St James's Park. The biggest of the changes could either they're going to rebuild the Gallagher to include, a much larger stand, or we're going to be moving the other side of Leazes Park. And the reason why the other side of Leazes Park and not in Leazes Park, the European Championships, I believe that's what it is, that's in 2028, and St James's Park is one of the host stadiums. So if they did do it in Leazes Park, they would have to wait until after 2028 to basically reverse the Sir John Hall stand. So yeah. And what I want to see is this. If they're going to build a brand new stadium, we have 2 rings all the way around the stadium for corporate. One of those corporate rings 20 feet off the pitch, and the next one 40 feet off the pitch for everybody corporate who will be coming to Newcastle. So yeah, and I wasn't going to say this much to you. Yeah. Benny. Sorry, BF Aiken. 2 rings, it's not Saturn. No, what I'm saying is, if we have 2 new rings inside the new stadium, there's plenty of room for corporate visitors. Yeah. So, here's the important news. The important news is this. As we're moving forward, there is somebody who has got in touch. Pardon me. That person is now going to be looking for errors in Geordie Nation. And as we approach the end of the month, Seeking You going live, the thing which I was doing yesterday, which was the demo for Street to Home, make the payment for that, so that I want it to be exceptional. And there's lots of different things in it, in the demo, and I explained to the people who were doing the demo that it's just a demo, and there's going to be a full size game. The person I was speaking to this morning, I mentioned the fact of, in some cases, like UBBC, up to 1,000 jobs. 1,000 jobs. Because when you eventually get to clock a game, well, you need to add your key to, so we can all see it, and you could potentially be hacked. Here's the thing: the Superbase API is going to vanish. So, because when the program, the code is being checked and verified, I'm going to change it anyway, because the errors in the code. So yes, it would, all API keys which people are going on about, they will be changed. And there is an API key for one of the projects, and that is still locally on the computer. When's your next tour of Newcastle? That depends on, the one thing I did ask was today about, I said to this person that I was speaking to this morning, have you got access to the journal? Yes, was the answer. So I'm expecting a lot of things in the coming days and weeks to dramatically change. I.e., like I said to this person today, the ability to sign off and become employed within these new things. And that's the whole purpose of doing it. Because it's not just, like I said in previous live and previous videos, creating 50 jobs for like say Geordie Nation app. Each year there'd be another 50. So you're building. And it has to go that way, where you keep on building. Why? Because if you're building, you're doing something constructive. It's not just a case of like you collecting the money and you sailing up the northeast coast on your mega yacht. I wouldn't even do that to start with, because I would say it is irresponsible. But all of these apps, www.seekingyou, Geordie Nation, and others, they're coming. And you need to check the code on all of them is clean. Need to make sure that those people who are coming in to GitHub to give help and assistance, that they get something. Because I'm not expecting you to do it for nothing. And what I want come Christmas is for them all to be open, every single one of them, for people to be able to play the demo of Streets of Home and choose in the demo whether you're going down Westgate Hill, whether you're going down Leamington Bank, or Grey Street, or another road that you can think of where you're going to build up speed, and that road is going to challenge you. That's the whole point of it. And with the health bar in the full game, your health bar, you come off, you get injured, doesn't matter where you cross the line. If you're in the red, you don't get paid, because it's a balance. And I wanted that balance in there to turn around and say, you have to make decisions and choices whether to like barge into people on track, because some will try that. And that's the reason why I'm saying in the full game, not just the demo, but in the full game, if you're going to come in and you want to like just smash your way all the way down, as you cross that line, you're going to get nothing. I want these races to be clean, and I want you to be excited at the speed that you're going to be traveling at, the different camera angles in Streets of Home, where you could be right at the front of the buggy, sitting in the seat, or maybe the camera's behind you looking straight down. Accessories. Again, it mentioned yesterday when I was doing the demo, having an engine. I never asked for an engine. And that's what I said yesterday when the engine part was mentioned. Never asked for it. So don't put it in. But I did explain, remove the engine part and put in gears. So like on a racing bike, a mountain bike, yeah, you have as your ultimate your gears where you can go through 1 to 27 gears as you are racing. And the reason why is because that is your ultimate in the game. Other parts of the game, Streets of Home, which is expensive. And I wanted to make things real world. So, in other words, if you went to go and build a buggy with carbon fiber, that's going to cost you. If you want to build a buggy where you are streamlined, again, that's going to cost you. And this is the reason why, because it's not just about taking a few planks of wood, some pram wheels, and some bars to attach to the wheels to the frame. In the instructions for the code, when you look at it, right, realistically, yeah, the instructions you write for the app are similar to the instructions you would write for an ERC20, because you've got to be exact in what you want, and then it'll do it. The reason why it'll do it, here's the thing. You can't change the API key. What if you start the whole process again? Then you can, because you delete the information, which is, you're talking about the API key being a vulnerability. Yeah, I understand that. So if you delete it and then choose somewhere else to build it, same principle, just in another place, that API key is safe. Now, getting back to what I was talking about, each round of races, whether it's Streets of Home, whether it's the street racing game, motorbikes, or whether it's the water base, like I said to the woman today, that is entirely the United Kingdom. All the jobs is for the United Kingdom entirely. And you can either help and we get this thing done faster, better, or you can roll about the floor like a hyena and go, ha ha ha, and all the rest of it. You can do that. But what's it going to get you? You run across the floor and somebody may walk in the room where you are, and they're going to look at you and go, what the heck are you doing down there? I'm laughing at some geezer on YouTube. And, if you help, you come forward and you help, as these things happen, then you get a share of it too. Because that's the way it has to be. To be a success, you want to be in there to have your tiny little slice, which over time is going to grow into like a bigger slice of the cake. And some of you are younger than I am. I'm 58. Yeah. I don't want to be 58. If I walk through the fountain of youth and come back as a 21-year-old, yeah, with no dyslexia and all the rest of it, then I would sit there and I would just brainstorm everything. But if that happened, it would all be different. And I want the division to be with Geordie Nation, it to be the focus, but the games, because the games start in Newcastle, the link is the city. Yeah. So that's what I was talking about. And this is what I was saying to her this morning. Everything I spoke about this morning has a monetary value. And I'm going to tell you the monetary value. Super base. Yeah. It's 55.89. So that's 55 quid and 89 pence times 2, which is £111 and 78 pence. Now, if I went to buy the domains of everything in what we've discussed in previous live videos, that amounts to 259 quid. You put both of them together, and that's just to get it onto the internet so everybody can see it, is £370. That's as real as it gets. Yeah, right there. £370 is as real as it gets. And that's why, like I say to you all, come in, help, clean the code so that you have cleaned the code. And like one person came in this morning to do that, and I'm going to say to that person, I've got your details, and is there anything else you want to work on? Because obviously, you've chosen Geordie Nation. Is there anything else you want to work on? And this woman this morning was on about like funding, government funding, and funding from different agencies. So I'm going to tap into that as well, because if I say something to you good people who are watching, and to them at the job centre, i.e. this year, the intention is with these apps to sign off. That is the intention. You put the 6-inch nail into the wall and you hammer it and you hammer it until it's in the wall. Then you turn around and say, yeah, it's in there and it ain't coming out. That's what I want with these apps. So that once they go live, they stay live. People enjoy them. People can work remotely. Then people can go into a job, office environment, have a uniform to wear. Because I want everybody who works at these apps to wear a uniform. And there's a thing I saw quite some time ago where if you've washing a uniform, you can get money back for washing powder, detergent, and all the rest of it. That's money in your pocket for wearing a uniform. So there's lots to consider. And I wanted stuff done last month. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm not going to stop. Never. My focus is 6 apps. And one person's came forward. That's beautiful. One person's brave enough to come forward. I had hope for more. You can't always get what you want, though. But I do try. So, my hope between now and September, the football season kicks back off in August, but between now and September, Seeking You is fixed and it runs. Geordie Nation is fixed and it runs. The demo of Streets of Home is done, so you enjoy it, and then you help me to build it. You know I can't code for, asking me to code these games, is like you asking me to cook a Michelin star meal. No, it would never happen. I'll make an attempt at it, but you'll know when you taste it. So the idea, the concept is there in the instructions. If you can add your little bit of spice, epic, brilliant. Yeah, that's all I want, because I want to showcase you. I've already said the instructions, and now, like the disability employment advisor, the work coach, we're all on the same page, because they are reading what I put in my journal. So let's hope in 2025 we can create brand new jobs for as many people that want the work. And yeah, to all of you beautiful people that's here, much appreciated. Thank you. I'm going to check this pool and the pool. What we got? What's it saying? It's not saying anything at the moment. Maybe there's a delay. I don't know. But one thing I do know is this. The person I spoke to this morning, yeah, I explained a lot, prices of what I've told you today. Also that somebody has offered help and assistance, but needs more than 2 people. We need a team. So again, thank you all for coming and, with your bits and pieces. Apart from those people who've, Sunderland and all the rest of it. Seeking You will get to Sunderland at some point. Yeah. But we want to do Newcastle first. So, thank you. And enjoy the rest of your beautiful evening wherever you are.